Hey Sven,
Here we go.
welcome to MetalKaoz. How are you, man?
Very good. Thanks for having me. I'm
So
doing pretty
nice
fine.
to
How about
see
you?
your face. I'm good. I mean, after spinning the album so many times, I'm so happy to talk to you. No, I'm serious, man. I mean,
That's awesome.
um, after this is the 18th U.D.O album.
A 19th. That's what my dad always says. Yeah.
Why? What
I
album
can't
am
keep
I
track.
missing here?
I don't know. I can't keep track. It's I don't know. I don't know which one he's talking about, but all the interviews we did, he always corrected and said, "No, it's 19." So maybe
Udo
there's one
knows
live
best.
album missing. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. We have to trust
Yeah.
Udo always.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Okay, so how long did you work on Touchdown from writing all the way to recording and mixing, producing everything?
Actually, we started, that was still during pandemic times. So Game Over was out, let me think, 2020, I believe. 2020?
21.
Should be. 21, you see, getting mixed up here. So yeah, I mean, we basically started the writing process right after that because there was time. I mean, we couldn't go on tour. There was no festivals happening, so we definitely have had time enough to start writing new material. And then throughout the writing process, we had some very unfortunate events going on. I mean, there was a flood here in Germany, and I was affected by it, so my studio
All right.
completely went. So we had to stop the process for that time until I had a space to work again. And then the war in Ukraine started, and Andrey was still there with his family. So we had to basically stop everything again because I mean we were like basically waiting for messages from him day by day for nearly a month that he's still alive. And we were looking at options how he could get out of the country. And finally, I think after 4 weeks, we managed to pick him up at the Polish border, and now he's safe and sound in Germany since then. And then we slowly started the process again. So it took some time, but in the end, I think all these events, it's music is emotion, and what you try to do is put your emotions in that music. And I think that's why the album outcome is so good in the end, because it added up. We had so much anger in us with like COVID, flood, war in Ukraine, and stuff like that. And maybe that's why the album is so aggressive and so powerful, and yeah, a little bit, I would say, rougher than the albums before.
Oh, yeah, there are a couple of songs there that I don't think I remember hearing Udo singing like that. I mean, for
Yeah,
example, I can say The Betrayer. Oh my
yeah,
goodness,
I know.
what's happening
Yeah,
there?
yeah, that was an interesting approach. I mean, Andrey sent us this demo, and I think that was even, for example, after he's been in Germany and survived the war time that he went through. So that was something we listened to and we said, wow, I mean, can we even do this? And then my dad was very unsure, I believe, in the first place, but I just sent him into the cabin and I said, go and try. And he came out and he was super happy and said, we need to do this. This is awesome. And I really love his vocal approach on that one because he's doing all this mysterious lower stuff in the verses, and then he goes full power in the chorus, which is almost a bit a thrash attempt, I would
Yes,
say,
yes, yes, yes.
like and that's super cool. And we never did something like that. And yeah, it's really nice because even though he has so much experience and he did so much throughout his career, he's still open-minded to try out new things, and that's so cool. And I think not a lot of people have that approach of going in there and just do what they do on the spot. A lot of people have that thing like, no, we always done it like that, and we need to do this concept and this and then blah blah. So he's never been like that, and it's so interesting to work with him in the studio because yeah, he will always try out new things, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But for this album, we had the perfect songs together, so it was really, really cool and interesting times when we wrote Touchdown.
Absolutely. And in fact, whenever I hear a musician that has been around like Udo for what, 1 decade now? No, 5 years. I'm joking. I
I
am
know,
joking.
I know.
So that they feel unsure for something, that means they are indeed still artists and indeed writing music right now. So that's,
Yeah.
I mean, I will tell you this: Udo has never failed us. That I will say.
That's so cool to hear. I mean, whenever he puts his voice on a song, it doesn't matter if it's a ballad or if it's like a thrash sort of song like The Betrayer. Um, it's Udo, and that's so cool. Like we can work around all that and we can come up with ideas that might be not the old school approach that some people think that we are still doing. But on this album, again, we managed to have old school stuff and it's still the roots of U.D.O, but we have so many modern aspects on that album, which I really love. And it's also, that's what I like. Once you go in the studio, you want to have a challenge, it
Yes.
shouldn't be the same that you did all over again, that's definitely not cool. So it's so great and refreshing if you go in there. And for example, with the drums, there was not a real time where I did a pre-production or anything like that. I just went in there with Stefan Kaufmann and we just tried things out, and like let's play this groove. Does it fit to that song? We changed so many grooves that we had on the demos because it felt better in the studio and much more fresh and just go and play, and that's something really really cool and that's what I like.
Before moving on, I'd like to make this comment. It's not like it's Udo, the band, because right now, not right now, for the last, maybe, I may be wrong, maybe 5 years, maybe more, U.D.O has a great lineup. I mean, the
Thank you.
guitarists, you, and now with Peter on board, I mean,
Yeah.
so it's not like it's Udo and therefore it's great. No, it's a band and it has been.
That's yeah, and that's something that is really important for us, and not only to us as the musicians of this band. It's also very important for my dad. He never called this a solo project, even though we had a lot of lineup changes, or he had a lot of lineup changes throughout the years. But it's sort of, the now we have the feeling that the chemistry and the people are just right. The guitarists work together perfectly. Peter wasn't involved in the songwriting process for this album because he joined us on tour last year, but he did play the bass on this album, which also gave it an extra push, I would say. He put his own bass lines in, and we told him, dude, just feel free, do whatever you like to do. And if there's changes, we want you to be there, as a musician, because he's one of the most amazing bass players out there when it comes to metal. There's no doubt about that. So and it sounds weird to say that, but everyone is really looking forward already to the next album when we start writing songs again, and the guitarists now, together with Peter, they're already sitting in the dressing room or in the tour bus and they start writing new ideas, riffs, bass lines and stuff like that. So it's an ongoing thing, of course. You never stop writing music. And yeah, there will be something really, really cool and looking forward to when he gets into the songwriting process, because he's such a good songwriter as well.
It's interesting that you say that. When Game Over was about to come out, I did an interview with Udo, and I asked him, why did you name the album Game Over? Is this something going on? And he said, no.
No, 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 no,
There's
no,
no way
no,
I'm
no.
retiring.
Not at all. I mean, he's still having fun with all of this. That's like his main thing.
Yes.
Like as long as he's having fun, as long as he's healthy and his voice is working, and obviously it is. I mean, um, still, I mean, we play 5 shows in a row when we go on tour. It's like it's amazing. We have so much respect for him to go out there every night delivering. He's not being someone, he's delivering, and being in there in his zone, and it's crazy. I don't know how he's doing that. Nobody knows how he's doing that, but he's very lucky, I guess, and that's so cool. So no, there's definitely no chance that someone's going to stop him soon.
You mentioned the drumming. Do I hear a little bit of Painkiller in the beginning of Isolation?
Sure. I mean, I can't deny that. That's for sure. It's such an iconic drum intro, and it's always cool. I mean, it's different for sure, and I think it's more fitting my style in this case, you know. But yeah, I mean, just like we had this thing for Isolation Man, and that was the perfect opening song. We thought, you know, because it's like it's coming in with a bang. There's no intro or anything like that. It just gives you an idea of what's going on immediately, you know. And yeah, that sort of sets the tone for the whole album.
And then you have Touchdown. So initially I had some questions when I was writing the review, the album review. I said, wait a minute, American football and a German band? What's going on? And then I saw the band wearing the crocodile, the Cologne crocodiles.
Yeah, yeah.
And I learned that you guys have an American football championship.
Yeah, we do have that since I mean it's an ongoing thing since years.
Yeah.
I mean there's a championship going on. There's teams all over Germany. So and the scene grew. I mean over the last couple of years, especially now we have football on TV, you know, and all that stuff, and that developed a lot. But to be honest, we are not the biggest football fans. You know, that was not the reason why we named the album Touchdown. It was basically this time we didn't have an idea how to call the album
Okay.
because we didn't really think that there was a song title that was fitting an album title. And then we were in South America, I believe, and we were sitting in a sports bar and there was football on the TV. And we were having dinner and a beer, blah, blah. And then there was always, they said, of course, touchdown, you know, touchdown.
Yeah.
And then my dad said, that's the album title, you know, and everyone looked at him. It's like, actually, you are right, because it's such a cool thought. We brought our music over the line, you know, we made our touchdown with this album, and that sort of felt right at the moment, and it still does. And then, of course, once we had that album title, we wanted to have this theme, you know, so we made the football, like metal like football, and we wanted to have photos, you know, with the tricos, because why not? I mean, the usual metal photo where everyone is standing in line and looking into the camera, we did that, you know, and everyone did that. So why not give the people something different? They might hate it, they might love it, and it's always good for a change. And then we got together with our photographer who did that, Martin Häusler. And of course, we had to get the original tricos with the shoulder pads and everything, because we wanted to look at real, wanted to have it in a real look, you know. And yeah, there has been the team from Cologne Crocodiles, and they've been kind enough to you know supply us the stuff that we need for this photo shoot. So and that's why the Cologne Crocodiles are on the photo.
Okay, because I am European. So when we say football, we mean the football
I
that is
know,
played with feet,
I know, yeah,
not the football that's
absolutely,
played with hands. Let's
yeah,
clear
that's
that.
right, yeah, that's right.
Okay, so and then you have, of course, the classical music parts that has been somewhat a tradition even in Accept and, of course, in U.D.O. So who is, let's say, responsible for adding this in Touchdown also, and Fight for the Right, of course?
In Fight for the Right, that was something Andrey wanted to do for a long time. This particular part by Mozart, he wanted to do that for a long time, and then he came up with this demo, and I think it was just the perfect song for it. And I think that, yeah, with the topic it has now, I mean, we dedicated this song to, or like, the topic is war, obviously, and especially with Ukraine and Russia, what's going on now. I mean, you know, war is never the option, and you know, I think this classical part in there, I mean, it still gives me goosebumps when I listen to that, and I think it just fits the song perfectly with that theme that we have now and the topic that we have. It's just the perfect addition to that song. For Touchdown, it was actually quite funny because Dee was writing that song in the dressing room, and he wanted to do the solo part. And then the support band started playing. So he said, "Oh, fuck, I can't record right now. I can't listen properly." So he programmed the violin. And when we listened to the demo, we said, we want to keep that, you know, just get a violin player and he should play it, you know. And that was the idea about that. Like, it was very simple and actually stupid. But yeah, we said we want to keep it because I think it breaks up the song so good in this particular moment. Nobody's expecting that.
Yes.
And it definitely gives the song a spin. And we love that. Yeah.
Who wrote the lyrics? You said a couple of times, you touched a little bit on the themes, because I love, for example, Isolation of Man, Forever Free, the Double Dealers Club. So who is
Yeah.
who wrote the lyrics?
That's my dad and myself.
Mhm.
So we've been doing that now since the We Are One album. We did together with the orchestra. And yeah, we do the songwriting, the lyrics we do together. We develop the melodies together. We basically do all vocal related stuff together. And yeah, so that's my dad and I.
Yeah, it's what I like to call as opinion, metal that has opinion, and that's what I like, because the songs, yes, they are mood lifting sometimes, but they have something to say. Then that's, I think it's still important, and I hope people read lyrics.
I hope. I mean, we've never been, and my dad never. He's never been a guy who wrote about witches and dragons and blah blah blah. You know, I can understand if you do that. You know, definitely. I won't judge. You know, I don't say that this music is stupid or whatever. But we always had like, yeah, I mean, life related topics. You
Mhm.
know, and they've also touched political topics back in the day. You know, a lot. So, and I think it's kind of important. We don't want to be preachers and say you have to have that opinion, otherwise, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we don't want to be that, but we want to give the people something to think about, you know, and that's always the approach. And then with this album, of course, I mean, for example, Isolation Man had to do with the pandemic, obviously.
Mhm.
Fight for Your Right, as I said, was related to the war in Ukraine, but not only that, war in general. Um, and then the flood was my personal approach to write down what I experienced when the flood was happening in 2021. So with this album, there was a lot of topics that we had out of our own lives, you know,
Yeah.
basically. And I mean, that's the best. If you have stories to tell, then tell them, you know, and that's the thing where it makes sense, you know, write down what you experienced and stuff like that. It all comes together in that at that point, you know, and it's also relieving from my point of view. To write these lyrics about the flood was something that I thought, yeah, I finally have it, you know, off my chest a little bit at least. It's sort of therapy, you know, music is therapy anyway.
Oh, yes, I
I
was
think.
about to say that, as it is a therapeutic process for you, but it is for us. For I have turned to music whenever I feel happy, sad, and everything in
Yeah,
between. So,
exactly. Yeah, and that's
uh,
the best, you know.
what about touring? I have seen that you have some shows left into announced shows in 2023, and you have
Yeah.
announced a lot of shows in, I think, in Germany, most of them.
Most of them are in Germany, what we announced so far, but there's more to come. I mean, we are right in the booking process for the European tour next year. The rest of the shows in 2023, I would say, is still related to the festival season somehow, because these are no single gigs, it's all festival related stuff. And we will go on tour in America in November and December. America and Canada. So we are finally coming back. We are working on that right now, full steam. So we really hope to be able to announce it soon. And then for next year, there are definitely more dates coming. We are already working in South America. We are in contact with Japan and Australia. And then festivals, obviously, next year. So I really hope that this album will take us around the world again, you know, because the pandemic time was so fucked up, you know. I mean, so we really looking forward to tour again, full on. And yeah, at the moment everything gets back to normal. So I was really happy to just play a full festival summer, and not a single festival got cancelled. You know, so
Good.
let's start with this. But yeah, there's a lot to come.
What about Dirkschneider? First of all, how was the shows in Australia? You played there, right?
Australia was awesome. Yeah, we've been there for the first time. My dad has been there for the first time. I couldn't believe when he told me he never was there. I was like, what? I mean, you've been everywhere in your career, and then you never went to Australia. So it was very, you know, cool for him as well to go there for the first time, and it's been amazing. I mean, we only did two shows but both of them were packed. One was sold out, and it was great, and we definitely want to come back. And then on the way back, we did Japan, played 2 nights in Tokyo, really successful. And yeah, we definitely want to go to Japan soon as well, because, you know, we've been so busy with touring Europe festivals, and obviously Russia and Ukraine has been a huge market for us. I mean, we've been there a lot, and all of that is gone now. And we don't want to say we never go back, but we would love to. We
Yes.
would love to, because we just feel really sorry for the fans, and we know that we have a big following over there in both countries. And we just feel sorry for the fans that we can't come over and play, you know, because we always enjoyed the time there. But yeah, now it's time to focus on different countries and different continents. You know, this gives us a bit more time to do something different, and hopefully we can combine it in the end all together. That would be great. But yeah, as I said, there's a lot of touring planned and coming up in 2024. Yeah.
So there will be still shows under the Dirkschneider name playing Accept songs. That's what.
Yeah, I mean, with Dirkschneider, I think my dad was a little bit too quick when he announced that this will be the last time playing
Right.
Accept songs, because I mean, it's simple as that. You know, the people request it. And whenever there's a promoter asking, hey, could you maybe do a Dirkschneider set? We won't say no, because I mean, it's his legacy. It's his band, you know, he formed the band back in the day, you know, so why the fuck not? That's what I say. I mean, the people enjoy hearing the songs with the original voice, and it's the only voice that works for these songs, in my opinion. So we definitely go out and play exclusive shows with Dirkschneider. And whenever we go out on stage, we have a lot of fun. The people obviously have fun as well. And so we will definitely do that as well. Yeah.
And let's not forget that we have at least two generations of metalheads, so they haven't heard these songs from Udo.
Exactly. Yeah.
Last question: are there any plans to release anything with the Dirkschneider and the old gang?
I mean, Dirkschneider and the old gang, we did throughout Corona. First of all, to support our crew. And of course, us musicians, you know, because there was nothing going on. So it was a very difficult time for everyone. And it was a really cool process to write these songs and to get together with Matthias and Stefan and everyone involved. And Manuela, she's a fantastic singer. But the thing is, I mean, Matthias is a lawyer. He's super busy with stuff. Stefan is basically not touring any longer. He's doing studio work, of course, but we won't say no, but we don't have the time at the moment.
Fair. Sven, thank you very much for your time. Please say thank you to the entire band for this album.
I will.
My love to Udo, and see you guys in November or December, whenever you come to Chicago.
Absolutely. I hope to see you and meet you, and thanks for having me, and have a great day. I think night, day, what is it?
No, it's night, it's day in Chicago.
It's day. Okay, cool. Then enjoy the rest of your day.
You do,
Take
man.
care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.